Hello viewers and welcome to another segment of Learn IT with Nkata. This happens to be our third class. The first class we looked at the understanding the basics of HTML, and second part we brought in the Visual Studio Code and we looked at some of the tags we can use to display information on our page. Now in this class we are going to look at what we call tag attributes, but before we start I want to remind you to like, comment, subscribe, follow, and share to benefit others. Now, we already told you that you need tags in HTML to be able to display information on your page. And this is an example with a title and an H1 tag and a paragraph tag. So we save this in our my page folder, which when you open the index, this is the information we kept there. If you are not familiar with this, I suggest go back to our YouTube channel, Anyas Nkata, and search and view the tutorial. Then you come back and continue with this. Thank you very much. Now, what is a tag attribute? A tag attribute, in simple terms, is an extra information that is added to a tag to enhance its appearance and behavior. Now, to create tag attributes, all you do is you come to a particular element, then you come to the opening tag. So inside the opening tag, you are going to put in some extra information to enhance the display of the text in that element or the characteristics or behavior of that element. Example, this here we have H1, which says, hello, my name is Nkata. And when we come to our browser, this is how it displays. What if we want this text, which has appeared by default black, we want it to appear red? This is where tag attributes come in. To achieve this, it is very simple. All you have to do is to come inside the opening tag here, then to create an attribute for something like a text color, you use a particular attribute we call the style attribute. There are other different forms of attributes. So in this particular example, we are using the style attribute. So I will type my style here, and I'll say equal to. You can see that the moment I type equal to, it has created some quotes, two double quotes for me. So inside that double quote, I am going to put in what the text color I want the text to appear in. So I will just type in color, column. You can see that it has even given me the suggestion based on the IntelliSense. So I want red. So I will just type my red, save, then come to my page, reload. You see that the text has appeared red. Now, Visual Studio Code is so advanced that you can, even instead of just hard coding, after putting in your red line, you can see that it has given you a dot with a red on it. You can actually hover on that red to display this. You use this to set the particular hue of the color you want. Assuming I want something like this. Okay, something like this. This is what I use. You just leave it, file, save. Then when you come to your browser, reload, the text will appear in that color. This is an example of how to add a tag attribute. You can have multiple attributes in a particular tag. Just as I have added this color, I can come to the end of it, put a semicolon, and then add another attribute. So I will say, okay, background color. It has even suggested for me, so I will select that. So I'll say the background color to, I want, say, yellow. Okay, so I'll click File, Save, come and reload. You can see that we have a background color yellow with the text and also its own color, as we indicated. All right. Now, another thing too is that we can even specify the way the font type. As you can see by default, I think this is Times New Roman. You can change the font type using what we call the font family. So just as we added this color, background color, we can still come to the end. Usually separate tag attributes by semicolons. A semicolon indicates the ending of a particular attribute. So the color here The semicolon is here, which means this is where the color attribute ends. The background color to the semicolon is here, which means this is where the background color attribute ends. So after this, I can come here and say, okay, font family. Select font family. It has given me a list of font families. So I can decide, okay, I want to use this line. Then click on File, Save, come to my browser, reload. You can see that the text has changed. Now watch something. You can see that I selected a font family and it has listed some list of fonts for me. This means that when the page is loading, the system will look and see if the first font, which is Segway UI, is available. If it's available to be used. If it is not available, it will move to the next, Tahoma. It will move to the next, it will move to the next. That is how they work. So it is it select based on the particular font that is available. It uses that is part of the font family. All right, that is that. Now, another use of the tag attribute is that we use it to create links. A link is like an item on a web page. You click on it and it will take you to another area. Let's go to our browser and let's see something. You can see that I've created a paragraph tag that says click here to go to the login page. What if I want this particular here to be like a link? That's something you can click on and it will take you to a different place or different page or different website or whatever. There's a particular tag. There's a particular element we call the link element. Now, to create a link, you use what we call the A tag. So you open A, close it, then inside you type the text you want to appear as the element. So let's say go to home page. So let me save this. Come to my page. You can see that the go to home page has come, but it's not looking like a link. Ideally, with links in website, when you hover the cursor on it, you see that the text will change like a yellow with a hyperlink hand. That shows that it is something you can click on. But now you are not seeing it that way. That is because our link element is not complete. It has to go with an attribute. So we have to come into the open tag. Then we indicate where we want the page to take the link to take us to when we click on it. That is what we call the href. To simply understand, we say something like has reference. So you say href, that means that this particular link has a reference of equal sign. It has created double quote for you. So inside this quote, you indicate where you want the page to take the user when he clicks on that. So now that I've added this href equal to, let me click on my file, save, come to my browser, reload. Now look at how it is looking. It has been colored blue with an underline. So when I hover on it, I see that the cursor has turned to a hand. So when you click on this, it is supposed to do something. But now we have not added anything in the semicolon in the href. In the double quote, rather, we have not added any information in it. That is why the page is not doing anything. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to create another HTML item in my page folder. So I'll quickly come to my file, new text file. Then I will save this as, let me call it login.html. If you don't understand how to do this, I will advise you go back, refer to our first 2 videos in our YouTube channel. You will understand this. Okay, so I'll save that. So quickly, let me put in my boilerplate code. So my doc type has been declared. So let me declare my HTML. We have already covered all this in our first and second tutorials. If you don't understand them, please, I will advise you make reference to them so that you can be abreast with us. So I'll need my title here. Okay, so after the head, I will need my body here. Okay, so inside the title, let me put something like login page. Then inside the head, let me put an h1 tag. and call it, and put in a text like, oh no, fill in login details. Okay, so I think this is enough for us. This is another page. Let me save this, go back to the folder and see if it displays the way we have created it. So this is the login. Okay, this is the information we have on it. Fine. So assuming that we want the user to be taken to that second page we have created when he clicks on this, all we have to do is come to the HTML of the index.html. Let me close this login. Okay, so the index.html is here. So inside this href, what I will do is to put in this and then the name of the page, the name of the HTML file. So I'll say login.html. So just that. Okay, so when I click my file, save, come to my browser, reload. Now, when I click on this go to home page, see that has given me an error. It is trying to treat it like a website. So assuming it is just a local file, I don't even have to use this slash. I will just remove the slash and just maintain the login.html. So when I click file, save, now let me come to my browser, reload this. Now click on this. You see that it has brought in the next page. It has brought in the login page. When I click on that go to home page. I hope you understand. Now let me come to the go to home page file. I've closed it so I can open it here. File. I've closed it. I've closed the editor so I can come to file, open file, then locate the login page, the login HTML. So this is it. So I'm going to create another link here. When we click on it, it will take us back to the index.html. So I will create a paragraph tag here, or let me call it a link, and say go back to home page. Then close that. Oh, it's like our opening tag is not correct from this. So okay, okay, close. Okay, so this is our link. So inside the opening tag, we are going to add our has reference equal to. So we want, when we click on this go back to home page, it should take us back to the index.html. So I'll put index.html here. File, save. Now when I come back here, you see that the go back to home page is here. So when I click on this, it takes me back to the index.html. When I click on go to home page, it takes me back to the login details. I hope you understand that. All right. Now that is that with creating links using tag attributes. But let me mention that there are two types of referencing when you are creating a link. What do I mean by this? You are creating a link that when you click on it, it takes you to another place. Now, the place it is taking you can either be absolute or relative. An absolute is where you click on it, it takes you to an external place outside your web page. That's an absolute location. Now, a relative location is it leads you to another page in your own web page. So, assuming this is where we are organizing all our files. So when you click on anything, it brings you to another page inside this folder. That is a relative path. But when you click on it, it takes you to an external place, maybe an external website or somewhere. That is an absolute path. I hope you understand that. All right. Now, we also mentioned that you can use the tag attribute apply styling, like text color, the font family, and so on. Okay. Now, another usefulness of tag attribute is that you can use it to create a screen tip. I hope by now you understand what screen tip is. A screen tip is like an information that appears when you put a cursor on something. For instance, when I put a cursor on this button, you can see that it has open extensions, Ctrl-Shift-X. When I put a cursor on this, it writes something. So what the text it is writing when I move the cursor is what we call the screen tip. In your page, you can also create something like that. So let me quickly create a screen tip. To create a screen tip, you go into the link element and add a title attribute. We call it the title attribute. So after our href, I can put in my semicolon here. I told you you separate items by semicolon. So I will say, okay, I want the title. So I'll select it here. You see that it has added the double quote for me. So I'll say, okay, click to go to home page. This is the information I want. So I will just come to my file, save. So when I come to my page, where is that? I've closed everything. So my index.html. Okay, see. So I'm not going to click now. When I just put the cursor on it, it should write the screen tip for me. I hope you understand. All right. Okay. Now, there are some tags in HTML that you cannot create them without adding attributes to them. I intentionally left out those tags because we have not treated attributes yet. I wanted to introduce the concept of attribute to you before we can handle those tags. And one of those tags is a tag to add an image, to display an image in your web page. Now, to display an image on your web page, you use a particular tag we call the img tag. So let me come down here and create an img tag. So I'll just open as usual img. It has even come for me, so I'll click on it. Now, I told you that there are some tags that don't require closing. They don't have closing tags. This img tag is one of them. So after creating our img tag, it means that we are telling the text editor that we are displaying an image on our web page. So this img tag tells us that. Now, which image is the editor going to display for us on the page? We have to specify the source of the image. So to indicate the source of an image, you use what we call the SRC. The SRC is a short form for source. So when I selected my SRC, you can see that it has given me some two double quotes. So inside, I'm going to indicate my source. So what I'm going to do is here is that assuming the source is in a website, let's say maybe I want to use this lady's picture. So I will just click on her, right click, and copy link address. Okay, so when I come to my editor, inside the double quote, I'll just paste the address, the URL, and click save. So when I load my page and my computer is connected to the internet, the image should show. Now, the image is not displaying because there are some extra information we have not added. It is not only the source, okay, or it could also be that the picture is not in a format that the page can display. But you can see some small thumbnail here to indicate that we are adding an image. Okay, so let's go back. Pick a different picture. Let me go back to this. Pick a different image. Okay, so let's say I want to use this. Let's try this and see. So copy link address. Let me go and put in this and see what will happen. Okay. Okay. What happened? Have to come down. Okay. So our source is here. My double quote is missing. Okay. So inside here, I'll paste the link, then click File, Save, come to my browser and see what happened. Still, but basically, this is how they added an image to a website. So, assuming that the image is not in a website, it is in our local file, like our local folder. Let's assume it is this image, this document I want to use. So what I have to do is locate the image and copy the address of the image. So this is the location. of the image. So let me copy this. The name is Darkman. So when I come here, I'm going to remove all this and put in the local location of the picture we want to use. So paste. So after the my page, I'll add slash and the name of the image. So I'll name it Darkman. Okay. So darkman.png. Yes, that is how it is. It is a PNG file, so I have to add the file type. So when I click on file, save, come to my browser, really, you can see that the image is displayed for me. All right. Now, if the image is displayed, there are other things you can also specify in the attributes. Apart from the source, you can also say that, okay, apart from the source, we want the height of the image, the height to be equal to, say, what should I do? Let's say 240. So when I click on file, save, come to my page, you can see that it has reduced more. So let's say I want the width, space, the width to be, let's say 320. Okay, so I click on file, save, come to my browser. Really, you can see that it has also shrunk a little. Okay, now sometimes the network might not be strong. Okay, so you might be loading a web page and some of the images are not displaying. Sometimes if an image is not displaying, there's a text that appears in the position of the image to tell you the image you should expect there. And you to specify a text like that, you use what we call the alt attribute. So at the end here, we add the alt, alt, equal to, then we say, let me see how the image is like. So picture of a dark man. So when I click file, save, and reload my page, you are not actually going to see that text because this image is displaying. But supposing there was an error and this image is not displaying, that text I kept in the alt here will appear in place of the image. I hope you understand that. All right. Now, another element that also requires an attribute to create is the video element. Now, to create a video element, you use the video tag. So you open, then we create our video tag. It has even suggested for me, so let me click on it. Okay, so now the same as the image file, we need a source. So the source of our video SRC will also be where we want to pick the image, the video file from. So let me locate a video on my phone, on my PC. Let me say, come here, and desktop. I have some videos here. Okay, so let's say builder. Okay, so let's say, okay, so no, let me not use this. Let me use a different video. Okay, let me use this one. Okay, so let's assume this is the video I want to use. I can right click on that video, come to properties. All I want to do here is to locate the source. Is it details or security general? Okay, so the location will be here. So I'm going to copy all the text here. Okay, so I've copied the source. So when I come here, I'm going to type equal to. So it has given me the double quote. So I'm going to click, paste the source of the image here. Now you can see that it has given me the source up to the folder where the file is, but it has not given me the file name. So I have to add this slash and add the name of the file. So I'm coming to the video, the folder, let me right click, rename so that I can copy the name of the file. Come to my editor. Oh, okay, so I will type the name here and add the, how do you call it, the file extension to it. It is an MP4 file. Okay, so with this, when I click my file, save, and come to my browser, I should see a video displayed down here for me. That is a video, as you can see, displaying below the page. Now, this is very big. This is very big. Thankfully, after specifying the video, there are other things we can also do. Now, one of the things we can do is to specify the width. Let me say I want the width of the video to be, say, 320. Then we can specify the height. Let me say the height of the video too should be, let's say, 240. Okay, so let me click File, Save, come to my browser, the page. You can see that the size has reduced. It is now small. Very good. Now, but it has placed the video for me, but I'm not seeing anything. Is my video really an MP4? Let me confirm. Properties. Yes, it's an MP4. Okay, so that is that. Now, after this, we are not seeing any buttons to play our video or whatever. It is just the thumbnail that is there. Now, to add that, we simply come to our editor where we added the video. At the end here, we just add controls. We just add controls, then we close our tag. Now, the video tag is it has a closing tag. So when I close the tag, it has closed for me. Okay, so now when I click my file, save, come to my browser, reload. Now you can see that it has given me the play button. So when I click on this play button, the video should start playing, as you can hear. I can slide through. This is actually one of the tutorials we created on how to type equations in Microsoft Word. As you can see, with the controls, you can mute, you can change the volume, you can click on these three dots and do other things. As you can see, you can use this button to go to full screen. You can exit the full screen. Okay, so basically that is what we wanted to show you. That is with the video. Now, sometimes it can also happen that there will be errors and the video will not be able to display. If the video is not able to display or the type of the video file you are playing is not supported, there's a text you also display to the user. So you can display something like, inside the opening and the closing tag, you can create, say, okay, so video not supported. So that is that. Now you can see that the element is becoming very long. We can actually bring this video not supported down and bring the closing tag tool down. It is the same thing. So we have the opening tag here, we have the closing tag here, and the information is in between. Okay, so that is how to add a video to a web page. Let me save, go back to my page and see. Okay, we have the same thing. Now, another tag that also uses the attributes is an audio tag. The audio is like adding a voice to something. Now, to do that, we also use what we call the audio element. So to use the audio element, you open the audio tag. You open the audio tag, then you close it. It has closed for me. So inside it, I'm going to create my audio properties. So I will open this and say, okay, source. That is the source of my audio. So src equal to. So this one, you indicate the source of the file, the audio you want to create. So let me see if I have some audio somewhere. Where? Yep, here. Desktop. Oh. Okay, I think I have some file. Okay, car drive. Yes, I have some audios here. Okay, so let's say I want to use something like this. Okay, so I'll right click on this properties. I want to copy the file location. Okay, so I'll come to my editor, put this in, but it has taken me out to the folder, so I have to add this, come and pick the file name itself and add. So, oh, what is the properties page? Okay, so This is the file. So I'll come to my editor and add this, then .mp3. It's an mp3 file. Okay, so click my file, save. Now let me go to my browser and see what happens. Well, it is not displaying because the tag is not completed. So after adding this, oh, it's like I've added it at the wrong place. Oh, audio. Okay, so let's see. I think we didn't add our type, so let me add the type. So the type is, let's see, audio/mp3. Okay, so I didn't close this. Okay, so you remember I open it here. It's a tag in itself, so I have to close it here. Okay, so file, save. Let me come to my browser. Oh, why is my audio not playing? Displaying. Okay, so let me come back to my, have my audio here, have the source. So I've indicated the source of the audio. Okay, so that is that, and the type. Okay, I think we have to add something in the opening tag. So in the opening tag here, we have to add an autoplay, and we have to also add controls to the audio. So these controls is what to give us the play button, the pause, the stop, the volume, and what have you. Okay, so let me save this, come to my page, reload, and we have it down here, as you can see. So when I click on this, it should start playing, as you can hear. Okay, you can click on this, you can click on this button, you can maneuver with other options. We have the volume here and so on. Okay, this is what we wanted to show you for today. If you've liked the video, please don't forget to like, comment, share. Please, you are not sharing my videos and I'm not happy with my followers. You are enjoying my videos so much, but you are not sharing it. Are you trying to keep the knowledge to yourselves? Remember, you are not paying for this. I'm just teaching you free of charge. If you have gone through it and you like it, it has benefited you, please share so that your colleagues, those you are friends with, can also benefit from it, please. And if you have any question, please drop it in the comment section. We will attend to it. Whatever it is, we'll answer you and give you whatever clarification you want. See you next week. Thank you.